Let's talk about reading speed and if reading speed is really important. When I was in high school, some people were reading really fast and they knew what they were reading. Other people were reading really slow. They also knew what they were reading. So is reading speed really essential in studying faster? Let's talk about that. So why would you like to read faster? Is it to cover more pages during a study session? Is that really what you're looking for, reading faster? I think the most important thing to start with is not to be able to read faster, but to make sure that you know what you have to read. Because sometimes you don't have to read everything, and sometimes it's just better to know what you are going to read and then focus on these parts first. Because let's be honest, reading is most of the time just first downloading the information from your book inside your mind, and there you have to process it. So is it really all about reading faster, or is it about acquiring the information and then being able to think about it thoroughly? Now again, is it smart to read faster or slower? It depends. It depends on the information that you are reading. For instance, if you take a children's book, you might be able to read that pretty fast. But if you take a really high academic book, well, you probably read a little bit slower. And that's because you have to make sure that you have the time to process the information. You might be wondering, is there actually a limit to reading and reading speed? There are courses online and in books described that talk about reading 2,000 words a minute. 20,000 words a minute is actually also said somewhere. 20,000 words a minute, that's like 40 pages a minute. Almost 1 page per second if you make sure that you flip the pages in the other half a second. But 40 pages a minute. Do you really think that it is possible to read that fast? Sure, there may be people who can do this stuff really fast, but it's always very good to think about it if it is really that they're reading it really fast, or they have such an enormous wealth of knowledge already in their head that they recognize keywords and they're able to come up with the information that is already in there. Now, what brain research has shown to us is that you probably have a brain that can process about 8 to 1200 words a minute. So if you can read faster than 800 to 1200 words, your brain might not be able to keep up with that. But that aside, most of us, we are reading with, 100, 200, maybe 300 words a minute. Okay, we have 300 words a minute on the top hand and where we can read right now, and we have a brain that can process 1200 words a minute. There's a little bit of a difference between the two of them, and that's the difference that helps you not to focus when reading. Yes, it's definitely doing that. Because when you are reading, it might not have your full attention. And if it not has your full attention, your brain will go, I can do this and I can do that and I can do so many things at the same time, and I can think about what I have to do or could have done or should be doing. And the moment that happens, your brain goes, what did it just read? Rewind and go back. So your brain is probably distracting you because you're not focused fully on the reading part. Now here comes the big secret that you need to know, and you heard it here, so make sure that you like and subscribe and all these things. Now really, you can subscribe if you want, but the really important thing that you must know right now is that you're reading too slow. If you can increase your reading speed, your brain will probably have less room to think about other things, and it will make sure that you have a lot more focus and you can read faster. And no, I'm not talking about speed reading. I'm talking about reading faster because you don't have to reread, and you can read it once and you can get the information from the book and put it inside your head and then use notes, for example. And this you must read faster is always there's a balance between reading comprehension and reading speed. And I'm sure you can read maybe 20% faster than you're doing right now. I'm sure of it. And you can probably increase your comprehension as well. So think about this. You're reading too slow. That's one thing that I am really confident of. You're reading too slow, and because you're reading too slow, you get distracted and you are not able to get all the information from your book easily into your head. Solution: read faster, less noise and more focus. What you should be doing is reading the most important parts of your book first. So we're talking about the summary at the end of a chapter, the introduction of the chapter, and all the highlights or the chapter headings or paragraph headings, section headings. Read them and put your mind already in the right state. And then you can start reading, because now you know, your head knows, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read all these exciting new things, and it will have a lot more focus. And if you're reading just slightly faster, your brain will think, oh no, this is going so fast, I really have to focus on this part. So do that. First read the highlight, summary and the introduction, and then you increase your reading speed. And if you do this, reading speed is not really a matter of reading faster, but reading with more comprehension. Now if you like this, make sure that you click that button somewhere, probably down there somewhere. And if you want to, you can subscribe, and I will share more tips with you about how you can study smarter.